I'm here by the way. On the record, I'm going for more of a Random C Goes There style than a typical video essay. Oh yeah, and there is no record. I'm always interested in the tropes that stick with us, like the way our creative minds are parasitically attached to them. I guess that's the preferred option for writers to create another Boba Fett or Aqua. But this 1966 picture embraces it, to the point where it's just visual layman's. And of course that's understandable, it works so well in westerns. You know, the historical recreation of the American time period between two huge wars that shaped our modern understanding of fact and myth, that can be operatic and pulpish. But then 60s Italy say, hey, we can do that as well. So they decided to make a Fistful Dollars, a remake of the Akira Kurosawa classic Yojimbo, that itself is based on a 1929 novel called Red Harvest, that eventually Hollywood would remake into Last Man Standing, so we kind of got a full circle going. Look at that. And people think the cycle of nature is more interesting than this shit. But Dollars was a critically acclaimed classic that would eventually get turned into a trilogy. That timeline ended with, well, begin I guess, with Il Buno, Il Brutto, Il Cattivo, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Returning the good, the man with no name, Joe, Clint Eastwood, whatever you like to call him, on a treasure hunt set during the American Civil War. It definitely captures the epic coolness of the first two movies, along with probably the best gear-up scene ever. It's a clear tale of what happens when you put these storytelling tropes together, who you know are good enough to survive this huge destructive conflict. And while they are the archetypes of male masculinity, they can't be put together without one of them eating it. And of course this would go on to inspire future filmmakers. But also you can look at it kind of deep, there is a bit of a spiritual theme to it. The good and the bad are basically black and white concepts, the angel and the demon. And the ugly, Tuco, is meant to represent mankind, well, mankind's ugliness, and the redemption of hope that comes with it. Oh yeah, and who would be the fourth one? You see, what I'm getting at is, Sergio Leone's next movie was Once Upon a Time in the West. It was the thing that started a new trilogy. It opens up with 3 assassins waiting at a station for their target to arrive. It's a cool homage to High Noon. The story behind this goes that the trio were originally supposed to be played by the good, the bad, and the ugly, Eastwood, Cleef, and Wallach, but they weren't going to be the same characters, more symbolizing them, to say. And of course, they all get taken down by one man, known as Harmonica. He's as badass as they come and predictable where they go. And of course, this goes without saying, it's supposed to symbolize the death of the old trilogy and the beginning of a new one. So in a way, he's kind of like the fourth person. Like the way he has a nickname, Harmonica. But what would his role be? My guess is that it's vengeance. But of course, that doesn't really count because it's not the same flick. And because I say so. No, if anything, the fourth one is in the original movie. But in terms of writing, he's not one of the chosen ones, so that's why he doesn't make it. It could be this guy, played by Aldo Giuffre. On Google, he goes by the name Alcoholic Union Captain. A nod to Grant? Who is he? Well, he's a commanding officer in the Union Army, and that's all you need to know. That wiki calls Clinton, apparently. He's a soldier that gives Blondie and Tuco a tour of his position during the battle's stalemate. He's under the influence of alcohol and, of course, he's meant to symbolize the Civil War's fighting force, with the glory and tragedy that comes with it. Before you know it, he's wounded, and then becomes another statistic. If he would have a title like the others, it would be The Martyr. Or maybe he's even the real good in the film. While Blondie, even for that time, is kind of a questionable person. Clinton had valor that came from his heroic action. And like the other 3, his main weapon was a pistol that officers did carry during the Civil War. The only way this could really work is he a precursor to other figures that were inspired by Leone? It's a subjective idea, but that's what I'm going with.